Hello everyone, welcome to another video, and there's also an article for those of you interested. If you're watching on YouTube and if you're on your mobile, hit the subscribe button if you think more digital marketing tips and strategies is going to help you become a better marketer or manager, or help you grow your business or organization. Facebook, just follow us, hit the like button on our Facebook page, same with Instagram if you're keen to stay up to date. From my side today, we're going to talk about 2 reasons why your social media ads lack results. Now, I've seen this time and time again. People, and specifically people that start out for the first time, just think that Facebook is all about just creating an ad and running with it. Now, it's a lot more than that, guys. It really is. And I'm not saying this to be funny. We're definitely not saying it because we're an agency and we obviously want to sell a service. This is just the fact and how it is. I mean, that's why there are thousands of resources on how to run better Facebook ads. So if you are someone looking, to run better Facebook ads, you don't always need an agency. You can just, I myself am a street marketer, and what I mean by that is, like, I taught myself how to run Facebook ads. I was one of the first people to spend money on the Facebook platform. Back in 2011, right? And I had to just test and experiment and learn, and you can do the same. And today I'm going to share with you the 2 main reasons why your ads lack results. So don't give up, don't feel discouraged if you're not getting the results you want. There are ways to fix this, and these 2 things are really going to make a massive difference. I believe that they are going to make a massive difference. All right, so with no further ado, let's go into the first slide of this video. Right, for those of you starting out, or for those of you obviously spending money on the platform, and if your ads are not really generating the results that you want in terms of getting people to the site, getting them to take action, then you are not considering, or you're not taking into account, the attention and action threshold. These are not things, so these are the 2 things that we're going to discuss, and you're not considering these things. You're not paying attention to these things. You're not thinking about it. You're neglecting it, all right? And you probably don't understand it. So therefore, you don't know how to, improve your ads in order to ensure that you tackle these 2 elements correctly. All right, so let's look at the attention threshold first. Okay, so what really is the attention threshold? What is it? The attention threshold is how focused someone is on your message, and how much attention they are providing your ad in understanding what you have to say, what your message is all about, right? So the higher the attention threshold, the harder you need to work to get someone's attention. Okay, so have you ever been in a meeting where you're trying to explain to someone something and they're distracted, they're on their phone, they're not listening, they're thinking about someone else? You can literally see them thinking about something else. Like, that is how every single person is using social media today, right? They're just scrolling through their feed, and there's all these ads and posts, gunning for their attention, all right? So that's the attention threshold. That is literally, if they see your ad, how focused they are on your ad. And the chances are they're not focused on your ad. They're not paying attention to your ad, and your ad is not really grabbing their attention. Okay, so that's the first thing that we need to consider. We're going to talk about how we can improve this, of course. All right, so the action threshold, guys, is how much they need to believe in the ad in order to get the click, in order to go, I want to learn more. I want to see what this is all about. You're only going to get there once you've got someone's attention. So that's why attention is first. You can't get someone to believe or express interest in the ad or show interest in the ad if you don't have their attention. So if you're selling a service, right, you can't get someone interested if they're distracted and not listening to what you're saying. They have to listen to what you're saying so that they can get interested, okay? So that is why the action threshold is so important. And the higher the action threshold, the harder you need to work, the more work the ad has to do in order to get them to click and, to get to that landing page, right? So this means that we need to lower the action threshold and we need to lower the attention threshold. So we need to make sure that our ads are designed in order to lower the action threshold and lower the attention threshold. So this will then essentially make sure that they pay more attention and see what we have to say, while then, if your ad is obviously got the right copy and you're using the right creative, hopefully now you're creating intention and intent and maybe interest, which will get them to click and go to the site. Okay, so attention plus action will lead to more traffic to your website at a lower price. So you need to get a 10 out of 10 for each if you want to ensure that your CPC, your cost per click, is at the lowest cost. All right, so you need to make sure that you're giving it your all and making the ad stand out of the feed, and you're giving it your all in order to make sure that you're actually driving action. Okay, right, so remember that. So the first thing we're going to look at is how to draw attention with the noisy social media feed, right? We need someone's attention. I need your attention. Pay attention to this so I can tell you what you have to do. This is Russell Brunson, very interesting character and a great marketer if you want to learn a little bit more about him. All right, so did you know that the average impression on a newsfeed lasts between 0.3 and 0.8 seconds? Okay, so an impression is when someone scrolls past your ad, literally just scrolling past it, okay? So you know when you're at home at night and you go into Facebook and you're scrolling through your feed, now each post, each image gets about 0.3 to 0.8 seconds of airtime. All right, just think about that. So as you scroll through your feed, every single post that you scroll past gets about 0.3 to 0.8 seconds of airtime. That means that you have 0.3 to 0.8 seconds to grab someone's attention. If you don't, if your ad sucks and it looks like every single other ad, if it doesn't stand out of the newsfeed, if it doesn't, get people to go, hey, what the hell is this? Then the chances are you're paying a high cost per click, which means you're driving less traffic, and the chances are you're not getting any results from your ads. Okay, so this is the anatomy of a social media newsfeed. So this is probably more in the line of Facebook, but you'll see Twitter, you'll see LinkedIn. Most of them obviously share this layout. And what we have is the following. We have a blurb, which is a short explanation of what you're going to be getting, what the ad is all about. That's where the company articulates the offer or whatever they're trying to promote. The creative is obviously, in my opinion, the most important part, because that's really what grabs someone's attention, because it takes up more of the screen. Okay, not because it's easy to understand. Yes, that's important, but just because it takes up more of the screen, guys. This is just basics. It takes up more of the screen, therefore it's really important. So we need to make sure that the creative that we're designing grabs people's attention. And then you get the headline and the call to action. All right, so we're going to talk about that as well. So this is the anatomy. These are the three things that make out an advert on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever you are, if it's a social network. And these are the three things that we need to focus on. And as we said before, you need to grab someone's attention within 0.8 seconds. And each one of these three should be tailored to the individual you're targeting and should be designed to grab their attention. Okay, so let's talk about the blurb. All right, so the blurb is, I'm going to talk about the thumb scroll. The blurb needs to resonate with whomever is on the other side, okay, and it needs to stand out. So if you're targeting a business owner, whatever you're writing needs to resonate with that business owner, and it needs to stand out in order to draw their eyes to the text. That altogether will create the thumb stop, which will make this person stop scrolling his thumb and pay attention to your ad. Right, let's talk about how to resonate with someone. Okay, so I'm a business owner, you're trying to sell me a service, then it's important that you take note. Think about who you're targeting, make sure the copy is tailored to them. Right, you're speaking to a business owner, so make sure that the copy that you're writing is tailored to me. So for example, I would say, start my ad, my blurb with, are you a business owner? Right, so if I'm scrolling through my feed, I'm going to go, damn, I'm a business owner. So that means this ad is specifically for me, as opposed to another cat video that's just there for my entertainment, okay, which I can decide whether to scroll past or not. I'm like, nah, I've seen cat videos today, I'm not interested, I've seen enough of them, or it's just not something that I think would amuse me. But the moment you say, oh, you're a business owner, I'm going to be like, hold up, I'm a business owner, this is actually something of value to me. Right, so you need to speak their language, okay? So because I'm a business owner, you can speak to me using words like net profit, GPs, VAT, tax. Are you worried about tax season? Are you happy with your current profit? Would you like to make more? Here's how. Our business can help you do that. Right, so you can use certain words that resonates with the business owner. Talk about events that might occur in their day to day. Okay, are you tired of replying to emails? That's something that every business owner has to do. Are you tired of being in meetings? That's something a business owner needs to probably do as well. And most likely, people don't like being in meetings, so you can, use these situations in their day to day in order to grab their attention. Talk about the emotions they might experience. As a business owner, you're obviously stressed about, the economy, you're anxiety, you're anxious, you're nervous, you sometimes get excited. Like all these emotions you can draw out. And these are emotions that business owners experience. Talk about their hopes and dreams. They obviously want to be successful. They obviously want to grow the company. They obviously want to make more profit. They obviously want to take care of their family. So you can mention that because we know that this is what most business owners want. And then talk about their pain points. Going under, again, the struggling economy, having issues with staff, not finding ways to generate new business. Like these are all pain points that they're probably struggling with. And by you talking about it in your ad, you're resonating with them. All right, so keep that in mind. Now we're going to talk about how to grab their attention with the copy. Okay, so we talked about how you resonate, which naturally will grab their attention, but now we're actually talking about literally how do you stand out. So you can be bold with your statements. Okay, so one of our clients generated 430% return in 6 months. So we said 430% return in 6 months. Like that is a bold statement. Okay, like that's not your ordinary headline, and business owners would want to learn how that happened. So as opposed to saying, find out how Meet the Farmer grew their business. Really? Nobody's going to click on that because it's too long and it's boring. We said 430% growth in 6 months. Find out how. So you see how my statement is a lot more bold, but it's still obviously contextual to what we're doing as a business, and it's also contextual to the story. Okay, so use emojis. Something that a lot of people neglect to do. It's a social network. You're allowed to be social, even if you're IBM. It doesn't matter who you are. Like essentially, if you are on social, you're allowed to be a little bit more social. You're allowed to be relaxed a little bit, okay? And use emojis in order to stand out. And then most importantly, use line breaks after each sentence to make sure that people's eyes take a little bit of a split-second rest in order to continue reading. Because I always use the analogy of a long WhatsApp joke, okay? How often do you read the whole joke? Or do you just read it halfway, kind of like predict what's going to happen and just reply, haha, to your friend? Chances are the latter, okay? Because you don't want to read the whole joke because it's boring and it's just too much text, it's effort. So make it less, effort for people by using line breaks, which will make sure that the attention, remains on the ad. Just make sure that you can articulate what you need to articulate, which will create the intent to click on the button. Let's talk about the creative, okay? So it needs to stand out. It needs to make sense in order to get the thumbs up. Okay, so in essence, this guy is obviously scrolling through his feed, and essentially we need to, like him, we need to now ensure, because the creative takes majority of the screen, we need to make sure that the creative stands out and makes sense right there on the spot, because we've got a split second to do that in order to get him to stop scrolling past the ad. So how do we stand out? Okay, we use a clean and simplistic design. Guys, I've been running ads since 2011. As I said before, it's about 9 years now. Trust me, clean, simple designs lowers your cost drastically. Okay, if your design is going to be super busy and if it's going to have too much text, it's probably not going to be approved because it's got too much text. But if it's just busy with 10 different bright colors and stuff like that, people are just going to scroll past it because their brains can't process what you're trying to say because it's constantly distracted. But by being clean and simple with your design, maybe a white background, and test this out. White backgrounds perform better than colored backgrounds. Trust me, but test it out. You're welcome to have a look. I promise you that you are going to get better results. All right, bright supporting colors. Now, I did say just now that you don't want to use too many bright colors, but you are supposed to use a bright color strategically in a simplistic design in order to grab someone's attention, because that stands out. So as you scroll past something, that color just pops and they go, hey, what's this? All right, and make it move. So GIFs. Videos, GIFs do really, really well because it's short, simple, to the point, and it's got 3 or 5 or 6 seconds, and the GIF is done, and it moves. So the moment someone scrolls past, it's just that something that moves, and they go, hey, let me just quickly have a look at this. It's like standing somewhere, and then something moves in your peripheral vision, and it's like, hey, what was that? Okay, that's exactly what motion graphics do in the newsfeed. It's like, hey, what was that? And it gets them to stop and pay attention. And then how to resonate. Okay, how are we going to create creative that resonate? So minimal text. Okay, if you've got too much text, the chances are the ad won't be approved. But also, if you've got too much text, the chances are people won't understand what you're trying to say because there's colors, there's other ads around it. Now there's too much text. The chances are they're just going to neglect the ad as a whole, or they're going to miss what you're trying to say and just scroll past. So minimal text, keep it simple. 430% growth, boom. That if you had to put that as a text, just put it as that. Grow your business, whatever. Keep it simple, straight to the point. And that obviously brings me to the second point. Keep it clear. Like I said, keep it simple. 430% growth, short, minimal text, clear, to the point. And then a contextual image to support the story. So we have the two business owners standing and smiling, behind their business, and in essence, that's contextual to the image because it's their business, and they're happy about the growth that they obviously experienced. So it's important that your creative is 100% contextual to the actual image. If it's not, then the chances are there's a big disconnect, which will get people to scroll past and misunderstand what you're trying to say. So if you're talking about life insurance, so for momentum, we actually did this quite well. So we talked about life insurance. There was a mom in the kitchen sitting with her kid, right? And it said something like, make sure that your family, take care of your family when you're not around anymore. Something, I can't remember what we said. And it was literally the mom in the kitchen cutting the food and the kid sitting there, and she was all happy because they had food to eat and they had a roof over the house. It was very emotional, right? It was like life insurance. If you're not anymore, make sure that you can still take care of your family. And it was just contextual and did really well. Okay, so how do we get someone to act? Because now we've grabbed their attention. How do we get them to push that button? We need to get them to click because we need to drive them to the site, right? It's pointless getting their attention. It's pointless getting their attention and not getting the click. We're paying for the click, guys. That's what we need. We need to get them to the site. So we need to get them to go to the landing page or to the website, whatever we're trying to achieve. We need to get them to get there and to understand the bigger picture of what we're trying to say. So we need to get them to click. And how do we do that? You need a clear summary of what to expect. So you need to give the user, the reader, an indication of what to expect if he clicks the ad. Okay? So it's like, hey, listen, if you click this ad, this is what's going to happen. This is what you're going to learn. This is what you're going to see. This is what you have to do. This is the benefit that's going to happen. All right. And on top of that, you have to be clear with the indication of what they need to do. So this one actually should be first. Doesn't really matter. But from importance, you need to be clear what they need to do. Click here to learn more. Watch video. Get quote. Download ebook. Whatever. Like, you need to be clear with that call to action, and you need to be clear with what they're going to expect. That gives them an idea, and that breaks the barrier of risk of going, because this is literally how it is in the newsfeed, right? People scroll and they go, oh, should I click on this? I don't have 2 seconds to waste. This is literally the math they do in their mind. If I click on this, it's going to be 2 to 3 seconds. Then I have to read it. I'd rather just keep scrolling. So if you're clear with what to expect, and it obviously is of benefit to them, and if you're clear what they need to do, it's easier for them to go, I want to click, and they actually press the button and they land up on the landing page. It sounds simple, but that is the truth. All right, so how to set expectations. Be short with the headline because there's not a lot of space. All right, if we go back to the anatomy of the headline, there's not a lot of space. Right, you don't have 20, 30 lines like the blurb. You can almost write as much as you want. Here you've got 1 line really, max 2, in order to ensure that people understand what you're trying to say. So you have to be short and simple with the headline. And this is obviously the next point, is like you need to be simple and clear. All right, so for example, we have an ebook that we created, and it says 5 sales killing mistakes ebook. Right, that's the headline. Okay, and it works like a bomb because people know they're gonna, if they download this ebook, they're gonna get 5 sales killing mistakes that they're gonna hopefully add value to their life, and it's going to help them run their businesses better, or make more sales, essentially. So 5 sales killing mistakes, ebook. All right, I know that I'm going to learn about 5 mistakes that I might be making right now when it comes to growing my business, and I know it's an ebook. Okay, it's really ridiculous how powerful this is if you're just clear of what to expect. And then lastly, how to indicate clearly what's going to happen. And we call it use call to action. So Facebook has a CTA button that you can choose, and it's usually click here, learn more, watch now, get quote, download. I think there's like 10 of them, if not more. And it's up to you to make sure that you always include this in the ads. 99% of people that start out neglect to do this, and they don't understand how important this is. Clearly indicate what people need to do in order to obviously, do what you want them to do. So that will literally say, click here. Okay, I'll click. I want the ebook. What do I need to do? Click here. All right. So it's literally, people don't want to think. When you're on Facebook, you want to escape. You're not there to, use brain power. You're there to save and restore brain power. Okay, so you don't want to think about what I need to do. The moment you create that friction, your ads will underperform. The moment you make it easy for people to take action and you are clear with the steps that they need to take, your ads will perform better. Simple as that. We talked about the attention threshold. We talked about the action threshold. I really hope that this video added value to you. And I really hope it makes sense as well. If it doesn't, leave questions on YouTube. Wherever you're watching, feel free to leave a comment or email us at info@v8media.co.za or myself at yandre@v8media.co.za. I'd love to help out and maybe explain things a little bit better if you're unsure. But that is all from my side, and we'll see you guys next time. All the best.